How you doing? I wanted to show you guys a small and short sequence of stretches that'll help you release the lower back and your glutes. So this is something that's gonna help you if you've been sitting a lot and if you don't know where the lower back pain is coming from. You could think of this as a little flow, a short sequence of 3 stretches for each side that go back to back into each other. And you can do this in the morning, you can do this at night, you can do this after a long trip in the car, whatever you want. If you've never done these stretches, then it's probably a guarantee that you need to do them. So here we go. Let's start with some basic stretches. You can grab your mat, and one of the things this does is stretches right here by the quadratus lumborum, tensor fascia latae, and it gets your glutes, the medius, the maximus, the minimus, blessimus. And so when your glutes let go, then your lower back is not as tense. That could be part of your overall lower back tension. You might have to stretch more things like hip flexors and the lower back itself. And you can check out other videos on the same link and do that sequence. Here we go. So pair them together or just do this by itself. Again, we're gonna start with a basic crossover. So you're gonna fold one leg underneath, sit up straight, and bring this foot close to you. Now, when a lot of people do this stretch, what they do is they slouch, right? And you sit kind of like this, just kind of pulling your chin to the knee. But what you wanna do is you wanna sit up straight. So first of all, the bottom foot underneath tight. This foot should be flat. So the crossed over leg, the foot is flat. I'm gonna hug this leg. So I've got my right leg, hug it with my left arm, hug it, lock my hands, and then I'm gonna sit up and use my posture to create the stretch. So instead of just using my arms to pull, I'm actually using my lower back and my overall torso, just my body weight, to pull and get the glute stretch. So this will stretch the glutes, the gluteus minimus, maximus, medius, and it'll start to get into your lower back. That's where the tensor fascia latae and the quadratus lumborum tie in. So what you can do is, if this stretch is too easy, the progression would be to get your arm over it. So you feed the knee underneath your left arm and you hug the leg all the way on the side. You can grab your pants or shorts, or you can grab the opposite knee. So again, this is a greater torso twist. You get a better stretch this way. You can post on the back arm here and then chest up, head up, looking in the opposite direction of where your knees are. And from here you can progress even more and lock your arms underneath, get the back hand to come through, hug it. All right? So whatever amount of stretching you want to do, that starts to go a little more towards the torso and the shoulders. If you want to just focus on the glutes, hug and hold. From here, we're going to progress to stacking your knees. And if you've never done this, this is usually the tricky part. So I've heard this called the shoelace before and whatnot, but this is a great stretch to stretch out the very connection of the glute and the lower back. So what I'm going to do is first, if I have my feet crossed over with my right leg in front, I'm going to put my hands on the left side, close to my right foot. I'm going to put my hands on the left side and start to put my weight on my hands so I can walk up and walk in a clockwise direction if the right leg is in front. Now in this position, I stack my knees. I pull my back leg in so my knees are actually connected, one touching the other. And if this is too difficult, that's okay. Get to as far as you can. Now I'm going to start to put my feet out so that both feet are outside with my knees in the middle. Gradually, you want to start to walk yourself back to sit down. Now this is where it starts to get tricky. Make sure the setup is good and it's not too tight, okay? You don't want it crushing anything. You don't want it to be smashing your legs and knees twisting. What you do is, as you start to go back, you can release a little bit to feel more comfortable. One of my favorite things is to put my hands on each foot, and then I have my center. From here, I sit back, ease into the position. All right, if this is easy for you, just go for it. So then I'm gonna go back, and from here again, I don't want to just bring my chin down. I'm gonna take my whole body weight, my torso, my stomach, my chest, and lay it forward. Okay, in this position, I actually try to feed my leg farther back by using my chest, and I compress down. So as I'm compressing, first I start with my hands. You stay here as long as you can. Then you go down to your elbows. If you can't make your elbows touch the floor, just bend your arms so your elbows are sagging. And at this point, you can start to bring your head down. And you're actually gonna look in the opposite direction of the leg that's in front. So right leg in front, I'm gonna turn my head to the left to get a greater twist out of my spine. Come all the way down. And stay in each one of these stretches for a minimum of 20-30 seconds to 2 minutes, as long as you want to, if you feel like you need to increase flexibility and not just release. So I'm gonna come up, and now with the right leg in front, we go for the final stretch. As you heard, this is the 3/4 fried chicken pigeon position. You're gonna keep the front leg more parallel. So what I like to do is, instead of what I've seen before, the knee, I bring the shin parallel to my collarbone. Now this creates a greater glute stretch. So from here, your foot will adjust to whatever's comfortable. Again, you don't want to be twisting your knee. So I got my back leg straightened out and I go all the way down until my hip will touch my heel. So The back leg is straight. I'm touching my hip to my heel. Now I'm gonna start to come down by walking my hands out, and then gradually do kind of like a push-up to get down to your elbows. Okay? And again, we're trying to get this gradually. If this is too difficult, and if this is too easy, you can get into the stretch deeper and deeper. Again, the right leg in front, so I look to the right. What I'm doing is I'm looking towards my knee, so I can twist my torso. Bring your chest down first, then bring your head down. Keep your head twisting, and relax your hips so your stomach is not up, back leg as straight as possible. Okay, so when you come back, you can start to pull yourself to sit down. Now we're ready for the other side. You're gonna flip the leg over, hug it, sit up straight, chest up, shoulders back. Pull the bottom foot under, make sure it's tight. Front leg flat, here. Feed the knee if you need to. Twist a little more, get your arm in if you like that. And then you come up for the next stretch. Feet out to the sides, sit back, position yourself in the center. Get the best position, lean forward, chest down, left leg is in front, I look to the left, bring my elbows down. Stay here for as long as you want to. Bring your chin low after the chest drops. Finally come back up to the front. Straighten out the front leg to where the shin is parallel to your collarbone. Adjust your hip to touch. Lock your hip and heel together. Open the knee as much as you can to get the glute stretch. Come on down, chest up, head up. Bring your chest to the floor. Left leg in front, look to the left. Stay here as long as you need to. And once you're done with this, you can continue on by stretching out the actual lower back, and even if you need to stretch the upper body. So don't forget to pair this with other stretching sequences if needed, or just do this by itself. Once you do it a few times, you should remember the actual progression. Enjoy, have fun, benefit.